just to close this conversation, which has been fantastic, I have a question that I like to ask all guests, and it's to name three artists that inspire you and why. Could be digital artists, could be AI artists, three artists that inspire Rope in his practice.
I've repeated this sometimes earlier, but I mean, it's true. So I'm trying to say. So I mean, first artist that inspired me. I remember I was like 12 years or 13 years old when I started to read his books. Is then Franz Kafka. So of course, Franz Kafka is kind of like the first author that I read where I actually kind of figured out that you don't have to deal with reality as such, but you can actually start to write. If you have this own particular view of reality, you can really go deeper, and you can start then to express that one. I'm like super inspired by his writings. Second one, famous film director, the the David Lynch. Of course, many people are his fans. There's even this people call art the Lynchian, and I think that's of course a high praise. But I'm very inspired by the same reasons that you can create art that is kind of like seemingly seemingly realistic and kind of like, but at the same time it's kind of like very then dreamlike, or kind of like it has its own kind of like, there's an tension and like the mystery
Mhm.
within there. So it then leaves room for the viewer then to interpret it in its own way. Lynch is then very famous in not, he then then doesn't want to explain his own works, because he believes that it's important to leave space for the kind of the audience then to make their own, then to make up their own mind. Third one, let's pick something else. So let's say like music. If I go back to my childhood, the first band that I remember I recorded on my C cassettes
Mhm.
was the Queen. So I'm a,
Queen.
Queen is kind of like, Queen is of course very well. I mean, perhaps the thing you can say about Queen is that Queen is then distinctively Queen. So that
Mm.
it's a band that found its own personality, and kind of like was then not afraid then to sound like Queen, or was then not afraid then to go as far as they went. And I
Yeah.
think that's that's then inspiring to me as an artist, to kind of like don't be afraid to be as Queen as you are, kind of, or
Yeah.
don't be afraid then to be distinctive. And I think people then appreciate Queen is also very then authentic. I think many in this postmodern reality, nobody wants, everyone is a bit then plays things as a joke, and I think art, you then shouldn't play art as a joke. You need to do your best, and you actually need to be then authentic. And I think these three are artists then inspire me in that.